A virtual protection group, or VPG, is an organizational unit of VMs that will be protected and recovered together. You can create a VPG from the VPGs tab on the ZVM. In the VPG wizard, enter a unique name in the VPG name field and set the VPG priority. The priority settings of a VPG help control the priority of replication if bandwidth becomes temporarily constrained. However, even low priority VPGs never have their replication paused simply due to bandwidth congestion. Click Next. The VMs tab shows VMs on the source site that are available to be protected. From here, select one or more VMs to be protected and move them to the selected VMs box. On the Replication tab, click the Recovery Site drop-down and select the target site to which you want to recover the VMs. When replicating to another vSphere or Hyper-V site, you'll also choose where to replicate the data. Any paired site is available for selection here, including the local site if same-site replication is desired. Select the host and data store for this. You also have the option to select the journal history and to set RPO alerts and test reminders. From the Storage tab in a vSphere environment, you have 3 storage options for each VM in a VPG: Data Store, RDM, and Pre-seeded Volume. Select Data Store when a new volume is used for replicated data. Select RDM when the VMware RDM, Raw Device Mapping, will be used for replication. Select Pre-seeded Volume when you want to copy the protected data to a virtual disk that already exists on the recovery site. Pre-seeding reduces the time it takes for an initial sync of the VPG because it uses the old data on the existing disk as a starting point and only replicates any new changes. In Hyper-V, the options are limited to only storage and pre-seeded volume. If the VMs to be replicated include a temp data disk as part of its configuration, select Temp Data Disk. When checked, data is not replicated to this specific recovery disk after the initial sync. Click Next. Select a network from the Failover Move Network dropdown. Then select the network from the Failover Test Network dropdown. Zerto highly recommends keeping production and test traffic separate for the recovery sites of a VPG. Restricting test traffic to an isolated or bubble network helps ensure failover tests do not impact or disrupt production applications. Select the default recovery folder you want VPGs to recover to during a failover or move from the dropdown. On this tab, you can also add pre- or post-recovery scripts. Click Next. On the NICs tab, you can preset the IP address of a VM after a failover, a test failover, or a migration. Click Next. On the Retention Policy tab, you can enable if this VPG will be backed up on a schedule for long-term retention. A backup repository must already have been pre-configured in order to enable and edit during the Create VPG step. From this tab, you can configure the file system indexing for each VM and set the retention schedule based on the needs of the business. Click Next. The Summary tab displays the details of the VPG. After reviewing the settings, click Done. Zerto creates the VPG and it goes into an initial sync state as replication kicks off for the first time for this VPG.